Marcos Anales is bringing it down, all right? See what happened? Let's try it. We never tried it in that way. All right? Quick touch. Boom. To Roy. And Roy send the kick. I want to see Marco Anales in that run. See what happens. We started that way. We never did it that way. We started today. And as soon as we do that play, I want everybody to start moving forward, okay? And pick up a play.
Let's go, Cobras! Go, Cobras!
The 1996 California Nationals, Mission Viejo, as you see lined up out there, and the Alta Loma Arsenal. The Arsenal in the red and white, and Mission Viejo, the Cobras, in the all green with a nice design on the front of their shirts. Doing it like they do, the lineup setup, like in the high school finals of CIF. Out there, the three officials, Fred Rowland will be the center ref, Chris Hallgreen will be one of the linesmen, with Ryan Keck being the other linesman, with the famous actor name of Mark Harmon, and he's on the other side over there, and he'll be that fourth linesman. The Mission Viejo Cobras got here by beating the Benita Rebels 2-1 and the Irvine Soccer Club 2-1. Alta Loma Arsenal got here by beating the San Fernando Valley Fury 1-0 and a San Aguito Surf 1-0. Let's get the lineups first for the Alta Loma Arsenal. Number 10, Daniel LaRock is a forward. Forward number 8, Rick Castro. A forward number 2, Travis Clayton. A midfielder number 18, Darren Spicer. Midfielder number 7, Michael Gardner. Midfielder number 3, Anthony Herrera. Number 12, Derek Watson. Midfielder number 13, Juan Dominguez. Midfielder number 11, Marlon Brown. Defender number 14, Chad Marshall. Number 15, Kyle Matthews. Also at a defense position, Brandon Pfister, number 9. Nicholas Juni is number 20, and he's a defender. Defender number 6, Cameron Dunn, and the goaltender, Armando Amata. And there's his save. The first save of the contest. And let's get the Mission Viejo Cobras defense and line up here. As you see, the Cobras going from left to right on your screen, and the Arsenal going from right to left. The Cobras, number 17, Diego Figueroa is the forward. Number 3, Sean Woods. Forward number 7, Alex Martinez at left wing. Number 9, midfielder David Hudgens. Number 13, Roy Shingirian. Number 16, Marco Rodriguez. Number 5, Chris Klotz. And number 14, Alex Lucades. Midfielder, Robert Schur. Number 4, number 6, Bo White. Number 8, John Fincher is midfielder. And midfielder number 18, Justin Woodward. At a defender position is Mario Rodriguez, number 15. And a back line also number 10, Jordan Harvey, along with Gary Petrie, number 12. And a goaltender is Eric Reed. The Cobras are coached by head coach Rick Martinez and Burge Shingirian, along with Jorge Rodriguez. For the Arsenal, Betty Williams is the head coach, along with Kate Gardner and a trainer, Steve Lucy. An Arsenal player with the soccer ball there, Marlon Brown. And towards the middle of the field now, no score in a soccer match. It is California Nationals. The winner will go to Wyoming and play in a regional play. And boy, will that be a treat for either one of these two teams. Marlon Brown couldn't quite get enough on that one. Anthony Herrera, they try to control, and in the midfield area, taken away, stolen away that time by Jordan Harvey. It is sent to the outside, and with the body, a Cobra player, so now the Arsenal will get a free kick. Greg Porter, happy to be with you. And Huntington Beach, Some of the best players in San Diego playing out there today in an under 12 bracket. All right, I said San Diego, I should say, in Southern California. Us being from San Diego, we see a lot of soccer action in San Diego County, and trying to control right there. It was Cameron Dunn. It was taken away from him. The back line now trying to help out and get a counterattack going. But now running onto it on a nice job was Herrera. Herrera still controlling with a header to his teammate now. And a play in the corner for Daniel LaRock. And it goes past the goal line. And it will be a goal kick for the Cobras. Cobra goalie Eric Reed. And here's a goal kick from the corner of that 18-yard box area. Sean Woods sending it to the outside, trying to run after it there. Mario Rodriguez. And here's a throw in by the Arsenal. Off the Cobra body. And the Arsenal will continue their counterattack to push it up the field. Running onto it that time is Clayton, Travis Clayton, but it was stolen away. Mission Viejo now, their counterattack going to the outside. Jordan Harvey was on the ball. And his teammate advancing it up the field and now stolen away by the Arsenal. Backline player getting it up in the air, and the air attack. And the Cobras trying to get out to break out with it was Alex Martinez, but he wasn't allowed to do that as the backline defender was able to come up and steal it away.
Come on, Trav, get in the game, son. Get over, go, Rick.
Travis Clayton now and into his teammate up in the air. Daniel LaRock in the middle, and here's the shot from the outside, trying for the far post. A little bit too far and out of play. About 5 minutes gone in the first 30 minutes. And here now is the goal kick for Mission Viejo, the Cobras. Trying to control right there was Figueroa, but now this is stolen away and sent up in the air by Kyle Matthews. Matthews over his teammate Clayton, who sends it to the outside of the rock, and there was a violation, and it'll be a free kick. So LaRock trying to find Matthews. Or Matthews finding LaRock on the outside, but it was a violation.
There you go, Trav.
And Clayton now keeping it in. Clayton still staying in front of the ball, but got taken away on a good coverage by the Cobra defenders. Got to be able to cover for each other.
Come on, Cam.
Especially at times when that player on the wing can get a burst of steam. This one is headed towards the goal net. Getting his head on it, that opportunity was Rick Castro for the Arsenal. Trying to push it up to the outside, the Cobras, but it's stolen away by the Arsenal from the outside. Good outside play by the Arsenal. But the Cobras come right back and showing their skill from the outside. They're stolen away here, the Arsenal now in a defensive third, dribbling, and it's stolen away. As their striker trying to keep the pressure on.
Nice, Bigum.
And the Arsenal player, Marlon Brown, sending it to the outside looking for LaRock. It is knocked out of play by the Cobras, so Marlon Brown will throw it in.
Get in, big guy.
Brown looking for LaRock. He tries to find Travis Clayton, but he was double teamed there, and they steal it away. But Brown keeps it in. Nice job by Brown. They work the offense in the corner, and now they work it to Spicer, but Spicer's opportunity is taken away. A nice poke step, and back with a nice poke step there was Brown, and Brown getting into Clayton. Clayton dribbling around a defender. Clayton at the 18-yard box, and a save made by Eric Reed. Clayton with a shot from the corner. And Reed is able to make the save. And he gives it a ride. Playing in the middle of the field. Cobras trying to control the soccer ball. And now almost a handball, but staying with it on a nice play.
Way to go, big guy.
Well, it's Clayton. Daniel LaRock now. LaRock trying to advance it around the defender. LaRock still on the ball. LaRock now dribbling. LaRock to the outside, and the defenders converge to take it away, but Brown keeps it in. Nice job over to Clayton. Clayton can't control it as it's stolen away. Here's Clayton now again. Clayton's pass is intercepted. He was looking for Spicer, and he couldn't find him as the defender was in front of him. And out to the outside is Shingirian, and Shingirian advancing it up the field, and it goes out of play. Now the Arsenal again content to play in the defensive half of the Cobras now. Here they come again with the attack. Trying to run onto it there is Herrera, but it was stolen away. Good job by the defenders. Well, here's Cameron Dunn. Dunn with his ball skill shoots, and it's a little bit wide as Eric Reed is able to keep it in front of him. Cameron Dunn coming up to help out from the back line with a shot. Sends one to the outside now. As the Cobras trying to get a counterattack going. But it's real tough to do that, as the Arsenal have shown that they have been equal to the task. And here they come again to the outside now as two defenders knocking out of play. And from that far touch line, no score in the soccer match. About 9 minutes gone in the first half of action. A throw in for Alta Loma. And a pass back to Brandon Pfister. Pfister over to Reed, and Reed makes the save. Eric Reed has made some saves, and a couple of good ones here in the first half. Pfister off his foot. Pfister coming up again to help out. LaRock trying to find that soccer ball, but the defenders have it now. And they play a little good passing attack there to try to get something going, but Brown steals it away. Trying to walk out with it that time was Shingirian, but he was tripped up. And now here's a long ball played. Number 17, Diego Figueroa. Play to the near side, and it goes out of play now. And a substitution now for the Cobras.
Wrong side of him, Brendan.
Coming out of the contest now for the Cobras is David Hudgens. And we'll see who he's substituted for. As play to the near side gets started. And a throw in there by Sean Woods. Woods looking for his teammate. And running onto it is Alex Martinez to get it towards the middle of the field now. Running onto it that time is Mario Rodriguez, and he sends it out of play. No score in a soccer match here in Huntington Beach. The Nationals, the boys under 12. Teeing it up there, Armando Amada. They like to call him Mondo. And a goalkeeper trying to get it upfield to a teammate, stolen away. But now the Arsenal is able to control as LaRock sends it to the outside now. And he's looking for Rick Castro, and Castro's on the ball. Almost a handball, but he recovered and sent it to his teammate. And he is double teamed, but he turns on a good pass, but it's intercepted, but sent out and kept in. And now the Cobras now trying to come out with it on the counterattack. Alex Martinez trying to help out towards the cause. Martinez got his body up in the air, but he was going down. And that ball goes out of play. No score in the match from the outside touchline. The Cobras will throw it in, or actually they'll have a free kick, as actually Martinez must have been bodied on the play, so it's a violation. Equero, and to the outside now. Moving it there is Rodriguez. He falls down, and Rodriguez staying with it. And Mario, this time they say it was pushing off, so it'll be a free kick now for the Arsenal. Here in the last couple of minutes, the Cobras now putting some pressure on the Arsenal, at least from the outside, and trying to keep it in the defensive half of the red and white. As the Cobras trying to see if they can put one on the board. Rodriguez trying to keep it in, and coming up to help out his teammate, Jordan Harvey, to keep it going. However, it goes out of play, so the Arsenal will have the measure of the throw-in. And we might have a substitution. It looks like we are for the Arsenal. Marlon Brown's going to come out of the contest. And now coming in will be number 3, and that's Anthony Herrera. And Herrera will take the throw-in. Derek Watson in the contest. Mission Viejo will have the throw-in now to the far side. Trying to advance it up the field. And Chris Klotz is able to get it towards the middle. But the Arsenal now are being able to control it again. And here's LaRock. LaRock advancing against a couple of defenders. He centers it. And his teammate centers it back to LaRock. And he doesn't score. He missed it on the near side. LaRock was alone against the post. And the defenders, in a way, kind of made it tough for him to really set his feet and get a good shot on it. He rushed it, and because he did that, he wasn't able to get the kind of shot he wanted to get it in there. You got to kind of turn your hips on a play like that, and sometimes if the defenders are right there in your vision or the corner of your vision, it kind of makes it tough to do that, even though you think you have some space, and you're mindful of the goaltender also. Substitution now coming in for the Cobras, and we'll get that number as soon as the player turns around. And a defensive third, and the Cobras showing ball skill, good ball skills, is Alex Martinez there. Into the contest now is Garrett Petrie for the Cobras. Kicked out of play by the Arsenal, so the Cobras now will have the throw-in. No score in the match. And you know, in a game of soccer, it can be a no-score scenario for some time, especially if you have two good teams in the defensive category, and they can also turn that offense around and put some pressure on each other. But in this game so far, neither team has really been able to put one in the net because of that defensive play.
Good run, Derek. Good try, guys. Good try, good try.
Goes past the goal line, and now we will have a goal kick as Eric Reed will set it up for his teammate.
Come on, Trav. Come on, Trav. Come on, Trav.
Play in the middle of the field, and let's see what the Cobras can do. Well, the Arsenal come in and get a little pressure from the back line to kind of set some things up here. But the Cobras, again, able to spread the field out a little bit and get control of the ball now, as trying to run on and control it is Sean Woods, doing a fine job, but he gets a coverage play by the Arsenal. They take it away. LaRock almost a handball, and the center ref sees it. Fred Rowland. And here's a free kick for the Cobras in their own defensive third on a line drive. Off the head there of Alex Martinez, which helped it out. Rolling to the far side of the field, and it's going to go out. And that hand by Fred Rowland says it's going to be the Cobras' ball. And from that far touchline, they try to control with 3 players there. And trying to find a through ball, and they do. And with some space, there is Shingirian, and Shingirian has it taken away. Up in the air now towards the center circle. And the Arsenal midfielders able to control the ball well and work it to the outside now. Derek Watson, but coming back and hustling very, very well was Garrett Petrie. Cameron Dunn. Clayton trying to find a runner in the box, and it was stolen away. Sent up in the air again, this time by Chad Marshall, and off the bounce, it was an offsides call. And so now they will have the free kick. The Cobras with no score in the soccer match between the Cobras and the Arsenal of Alta Loma. Ball up in the air, and controlling momentarily is the Cobras. Their counterattack, but coming over there is the Arsenal and knock it out of play. And they got the white and the red balloons over there attached to the bags of the soccer players of the Alta Loma Arsenals as you look and play on the far side over there. A very interesting idea. You haven't seen it too much, a thing like that, but that is kind of along the same idea of the girls in state cup play that we have seen on your George Landon Video Sports Productions with the colors of their team and their hair being painted the same way, so, and with some ribbons in their hair, so it's kind of interesting. Now the Cobras trying to control to that far side. Figueroa was in on that play, and it's stolen away again as the Arsenal showing how they can be tough on play to the outside. But here's Petrie. Petrie sends it to the outside, and Dunn kicks it out of play. Dunn goes down, but Dunn was able to get there in time. Nice athletic play by Cameron Dunn. And also staying right there was Johnny Fincher. And a throw in by Garrett Petrie for the Cobras. Petrie looking for his teammate and can't find one. And coming back though is Petrie to try to play good defense, and you have to be, and I'm sure he is, mindful of LaRock and his speed and ball handling abilities to the near side. Substitution over there. As coming out of the contest, Rick Castro, and we'll get an opportunity to look at the youngster that came into the contest in a moment. Cameron Dunn. Do some equipment work here to the near side and get play started again with about 20 minutes unofficially our clock gone so far. And Dunn now looking for a teammate to maybe chest trap it, but it was stolen away with the head, and a nice pass done that time by Johnny Fincher. Fincher here again, using his head again. Nice job by Fincher, knowing that that's what you want to do in a game of soccer. And Fincher trying to keep it going on a counterattack. He couldn't. He ran out of real estate. LaRock. Garrett Petrie will throw it in. Petrie now working it to his teammate. Diego Figuera, and they stole it away now, and LaRock to the outside, sending it to Spicer. Spicer being marked there, and let's see who it went off of. If it went off of Spicer, then they got the goal kick, and I guess it did. Otherwise, it would have been a CK for Alta Loma. No score in a soccer match. 23 minutes gone in the first half. LaRock sending it to the far side, looking for his teammate. And that is Michael Gardner. Gardner in the contest now.
All right, Steve.
Reducing the size of the field over in the corner of LaRock. And falling down and playing tough in that back line is Jordan Harvey. And Harvey has marked a number of players to the outside and has done a good job here in the first half. They have not really been able to work a good solid play around Jordan Harvey. Harvey there again, trying to use his head, and it rolls off to his teammate, who is able to advance it in the air now. And the air control goes over to the Cobras momentarily, but on a slide tackle coming in is the Arsenal player, and he knocked it out of bounds. And from that far line, Jordan Harvey will have the throw in. Substitution again for the Cobras. And Cobra player number 6 is in the contest, Bo White. Throw in from the far side. Stolen away by the Arsenal and sent down to the defensive third, but coming back is Marco Rodriguez. Sending it upfield, and a couple players running past it and controlling it there. Sean Woods on a nice play. And his dribble is over to John Fincher, and let's see. Offsides violation. Well, against the Cobras. So the Cobras now have to get the counterattack going again after the Arsenal touched the ball. And some of the fans on a Mission Viejo side trying to get the Cobras fired up. Chad Marshall setting it up as intercepted. Cameron Dunn now. Up in the air, though, Jordan Harvey. And now Harvey will retreat back as Petrie will try to come up and take it away from the player, but he can't do it as Clayton gets it to the outside and stolen away. Dunn up in the air, but controlling that time, John Fincher. Playing the midfield, back to Fincher. Fincher on a give and go, back to his teammate Shingirian. Shingirian can't control as he loses it and stolen away by Clayton. Clayton works it to the outside now as they open it up for some space for LaRock, but getting back there is Petrie, and he kicks it out of play. Just about 4 minutes left to play in the first half of action. Unofficially, our time. No score in the soccer match. It's two fine under-12 boys national teams here, with the winner going to Wyoming in the regionals. Now running onto it is Juan Dominguez, and an offsides violation against the Arsenal. And so now the free kick for Mission Viejo. Alta Loma coming a little ways for this game here in Huntington Beach, as Mission Viejo, obviously closer Huntington Beach than Alta Loma is, and Alta Loma from the San Bernardino County area. But there's been some fine soccer out there in Alta Loma, and the Arsenal showing evidence of that as Petrie gets it up in the air, and the air control now is Dunn using his body, and Dunn is able to run onto the ball, and he gets it to his teammate, and the attack from the outside, but it's taken away though as Fincher comes up. There's a line drive, Warren Dunn, these players showing that they can control the ball well and use their body and parts of their body that is legal in the game of soccer and be able to control the ball and play defense on both ends. And usually the reason that you have a team in the Nationals, especially in this title game of the Nationals, is because you can do all the little things very well. And both of these two teams have shown that, and that's why we don't have any score. Alex Martinez now. Martinez, nice foot fake that time, getting it to the outside to Harvey, and Harvey sending it up to a teammate, but stolen away on a great play from the back line by the defender for the Arsenal, and now this one will be a throw-in for the Arsenal. Arsenal getting here by beating again San Fernando Valley, the Fury 1-0, and also beating the San Diego Surf, which is always a good program down in San Diego. And Arsenal doing a fine job in shutting out both of their opponents to get to this championship game. And on the other side of the coin, the Cobras having to play a tough Bonita Rebel Ball Club, beating them 2-1, and then a very good club in the Irvine Soccer Club, and they beat them 2-1 also. Clayton now sends it to the outside, looking for his teammate, Derek Watson. He's alone for a moment. It's blocked. Watson still on the ball, and it's blocked out by Harvey, his alternate number on the other side. Harvey right there, just a few feet away from the line, had to make a good play. And there's world-class players would have been happy to see him make a play like that on a defensive side of the ball. Mindful of where he was at. Ball up in the air now, outside of the 18-yard box, but kept in and sent towards the goalkeeper, and that is the whistle. As a nice shot that time by number 18, and that is Darren Spicer, but he didn't have enough to get it past the goaltender. First half is over, and stick around. There'll be some video, and we'll be back with the second half with no score between the Alta Loma Arsenal and the Mission Viejo Cobras.
Right now, please guys, please look for each other. Touch it sooner, touch it sooner. We cannot hold the ball that long. They're running a lot. They're getting tired. I know they're getting tired, but we cannot count on that. We gotta start playing our game. I get this control. Start doing the 1-2s. The simple game in soccer, the simple play in soccer is 1-2. I give it to my teammate. I look for a space and knock the ball. And when you are near to the box, take the shot. One shot we took so far. Marco did it. That's all. All right? But don't you pull the ball. Don't you pull the ball. Forward. I want you to do is stay 10 yards apiece. Try to keep the center fullback and the sweeper together.
Did it hit him?
Let's go. Let's get him out of the field.
Let's go, you guys.
We're ready. We've done everything but the ball in the back of the net. Let's go.
Action underway here in the second half between the Mission Viejo Cobras and the Alta Loma Arsenal. Arsenal going from the left to right. On your video screen and from right to left is the Cobras. In the first half, the Alta Loma Arsenal in the first part of the first half, about the first 15 minutes, were putting a lot of pressure on the Cobras, but they weren't. They had a few somewhat pretty good chances of getting it in the net, but again, the back line of the Cobras showing why they are in this title game, and they were able to stave off the pressure and begin to turn the game around a little bit towards their favor. However, they weren't able to get one in the net. As Eric Reed comes out, and he does a quick run to the outside now to his teammate David Hudgens. And Hudgens on a run trying to keep it going, but the Arsenal now on a counterattack. Here's a long ball sent over to Rick Castro. LaRock trying to get to it, but Harvey goes back on a nice play, using his body not to allow Daniel LaRock to get around him. A free kick from the defensive third for Mission Viejo. The Cobras in the midfield now, trying to get a counter going. But the Arsenal winning it there. In the midfield, the midfielders now trying to control. But the back line now comes out, reduces the size of the field, and gets it to the outside. Chad Marshall. Anthony Herrera. LaRock sends it, and being knocked down is Reed. And Reed getting up rather gingerly as LaRock putting pressure, and he's going to get a little bit of a warning. He could get a yellow card. He doesn't get, he gets a verbal warning. So nothing formal on the scenario there. And here is a line drive sent upfield. Marlon Brown sends it the other way. And a push, and so the Cobras now will get the opportunity to take it in the other direction. No score. If you didn't catch the beginning of the contest and how both of these teams got there, the Cobras got here by beating the Bonita Rebels 2-1 in their first game, and then the Irvine Soccer Club 2-1. The Arsenal got here by beating the San Fernando Valley Fury 1-0, and then the San Diego Surf also with the same score of 1-0. One there that time by Travis Clayton, but it was stolen away, and back here come the Cobras now. 2-on-3, the pass sent to the middle and stolen away by Cameron Dunn. And that back line of defense able to get it to midfield and get the counter going again for the Arsenal. However, the Cobras equal to the task, steal it away to midfield and send it to outside, but coming over to do a fine job is Cameron Dunn. Dunn showing why maybe one day he might be one of those fine players in the high school brand of soccer, playing at a defensive position. Stolen away now. And headed back. Dunn trying to get to it, but he can't do it as it's sent now towards the goaltender, and he's up in the air and makes the play. Armando Amada making the save. As a bid that time by Diego Figuero. Figuero almost got that one up and over Armando. And now we're going to have from the defensive third a throw in for the Arsenal. Figuero trying to run onto it, and he does as he helps it back to his teammate now. And here they go. It's a 3-on-2, trying to get another teammate, Johnny Fincher, and they stole it away. They just about had something going that time. As the Cobras, who are coached very well to the far side, a couple of pushes. Harvey still on it, and LaRock, and he throws down LaRock. And that'll definitely get you a yellow card on that play in a game of soccer, as Harvey was probably thinking, he's on me too much, and why don't you call it on him? And Fincher was thrown down by Harvey, and a yellow card applied. And oftentimes the official doesn't see the backside of that play that starts with the other player, and I'm sure Harvey felt that he was being hassled too much and decided to take matters into his own hands, and by the time he did it, it was a yellow card. Next card, if you get another card, then you are out of the contest. And Harvey has really been very instrumental in the defense for the Cobras, and they would not want to lose him. And actually, if I mentioned Harvey, I was in mistake. It was Garrett Petrie who actually did the throwing down. And Petrie has been instrumental, both along with Harvey, in that backline defense, and Petrie kicks it out of play. Intercepted now and sent up towards the middle of the field, but the Arsenal again, the midfielders controlling and able to send it to the corner for some offensive striker, Rick Castro, and now coming out with it is Cameron Dunn. Dunn sending it outside to Castro again, and they try to get that offense going as Castro trying to send it to a teammate, and his teammate comes up and helps out. However, I believe it was either an offsides, it must have been an off, and it was an offsides violation, so now they'll have the free kick. Cameron Dunn coming over this side and kicking it out of play. 7 minutes gone here in the second half. Nobody scored yet in this Nationals boys under 12 competition. The final game to see who goes to Wyoming for the regionals. Coming out of the contest now, Rick Castro, and also coming out of the contest, or correction on that, coming out of the contest was Fincher, and coming out of the contest is David Hudgens. And we'll see if we can get the players that just came into the contest. Mario Rodriguez into the contest. Robert Schur into the contest. Chris Klotz into the contest. Of course, you got Petrie out there. And Mario Rodriguez, and basically those are the players that are on the field right now for the Cobras. There's Harvey. Harvey comes up and gets it over to Shingirian, and Shingirian trying to work a play, but they steal it away, the Arsenal on the counter, and they get it going. But coming over to intercept was Woodward. Justin Woodward to the outside. It goes beyond him and over to Petrie, and he uses his head to knock it past the touchline. 9 minutes gone here. Only 21 minutes left to play in a game. Neither team has scored. Plenty of time to put one in the net. If the two teams are tied, it will go into two 10-minute overtimes, and if it still is not decided, they'll go into PKs, otherwise known as penalty kicks. Backline defense, good job done that time by the defender for the Cobras, as he had to mark the striker who was one-on-one with him. Back now, because of that play, the Cobras on the ball, number 17, Diego Fiquera. And to the outside now, Rodriguez. Shingirian trying to run onto it, and he keeps it going. He's working it to the outside now. As the Cobras still controlling. Chris Klotz, And a nice poke step and knocking it out of play is Ricky Castro. Cameron Dunn to go back and try to do a half bicycle kick, one where he didn't go completely in the air. Dunn always mindful of the players that are around him, the defense. Kyle Matthews back there to help out. Matthews an opportunity to get a touch on that ball. Kicked out of play, and it looks like it will be a corner kick. And always a great opportunity on a corner kick for the Cobras. The Cobras trying to get something going in that 18-yard box now. Neither team has scored. Let's see what they do. Sometimes they short kick. This one's a long one towards the box, but Dunn knocks it out of play. In that 18-yard box and getting it upfield. Running it down there was Petrie. And a throw in now by teammate Marlon Brown for the Arsenal. And here their counterattack goes. A lot of times it's a big play after you get that defense of a corner kick. Petrie comes over, it's still in play now. As running over there was Justin Woodward. Knocked out of play, and now LaRock trying to control. But Kyle Matthews was there, and so it's going to be a throw-in, though, for the Arsenal. The Arsenal with the sign over there that says, just do it. And they have definitely done that to get here. Marlon Brown throws it off a defender, and so now it's going to be a CK. So now here's the offensive try on the CK, the corner kick, for the Alta Loma Arsenal. 12 minutes gone. In the second half, neither team has scored. Daniel LaRock gonna tee it up. LaRock, who was thrown down quite heavily a few minutes ago. The opportunity was CK here. Getting it up in the air, trying to get somebody to control it for the Arsenal. And coming out with it are the Cobras as the front line is able to control that soccer ball and kick it out of play. And one of the players for the Arsenal, Chad Marshall, was kicked right in the face on that last sequence by the Cobras. Kyle Matthews trying to send it downfield, but intercepted by the green of the Cobras, and here they go. A counterattack deep in the defensive third, but Dunn is able to turn and get it back upfield, but it's intercepted by one of the Cobras who stays in play that time. Keeping the action on, Mario Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the ball now. Rodriguez, his passes to the middle, and one touch to Shingirian, and Shingirian trying to get it over to Figueroa. And Figueroa can't get it as Matthews sends it upfield from that back line. Petrie, one touch with it. Stolen away now to Cobras. No score in a soccer match. Travis Clayton sending it towards the middle of the field, but intercepted by Harvey, and he sends it over in the corner. Trying to keep it in and not being able to do it was Chris Klotz. However, this is kicked out by the Arsenal. 14 minutes gone, almost half of the second half is elapsed here. And now some substitutions for the Cobras. Coming out of the contest now for the Cobras is Garrett Petrie. And also coming out is Justin Woodward. And number 9, David Hudgens in the contest now. And coming up quickly that time was Mario Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the midfield play. But here come the Arsenal. The Arsenal with the patch on their shorts. You seldom see that in the soccer uniforms of the youth, either in CYSA play or in Nationals play, as there was a violation, and the Cobras have the free kick in their own defensive third. Mission Viejo trying to get something going as the ball is spread out wide. Dan LaRock going after it. Daniel on the ball now. Here's a shot from long distance and can't quite get it to go in. As Marlon Brown saw an opportunity to see if he could get one from long distance, and that is a play that is very, very dangerous for the defense because they really can't help out the goaltender, and he has to get up in the air to try to keep that one from going in that net. The substitutions now for both teams. Brandon Pfister into the contest, number 9. Or rather, Rick Castro into the contest now for Alta Loma. And play over in the corner as we have no score and a throw-in for Alta Loma. Mission Viejo now trying to control. Alta Loma now with Dunn going down. And still play ensues over in that corner with the Arsenal turning in a shot towards that 18-yard box. And Dunn missing that one, and he is caught upfield now. It could be a dangerous scenario as here comes the Cobras, but back there, I believe it was Matthews who sent it back upfield. And Dunn now, a couple of tries, but they get it around him now, and coming back to help out is Clay Matthews. Good coverage there by the defenders in the back line again for Alta Loma. And both of these two fine soccer clubs just continuing to find a way to make it happen. And it might just come down to who's got the stamina to make it happen in the end, because both of them highly talented. And here they come back with Darren Spicer on a play. It is knocked out of play by Jordan Harvey coming up. Both of these two teams of boys under 12 definitely would be a video to watch if you're younger, to watch how to play the game of soccer just a couple of years older than you. Some 9-year-olds that are fine soccer players that we've seen in George Landman Video Sports Production that love to watch something like this and to see how you have to cover for each other defensively, run up and down a field in the midfield area, and be able to control, trap the ball, and play good defense. And now for the Cobras, they have a substitution coming in as a goal kick down at the end. On the right side of your picture there. And now Jordan Harvey trying to control and running onto it now there for Alta Loma was Chad Marshall, getting it to the outside to his teammate Marlon Brown, but they stole it away and sent it back behind the Arsenal defenders. Out of play, of course, and now the Arsenal will throw in. Travis Clayton now can't get to it, so it'll be a Mission Viejo throw in with no score, 18 minutes gone, and unofficially on our clock. And remember, they played 30 in the first half, so a little arithmetic will tell you there's close to 48 and a half now minutes gone in the game, and they only played 60. And both of these two teams have played great defense and have put the offense when they can, but the other club's defense has been equal to the task. And this game very well could be determined by one goal. Daniel LaRock. And LaRock kicking it out of play. So now it will be a goal kick for Mission Viejo. The Cobras trying to see if they can find a way to break through that tough defensive line. Harvey, who's played good defense himself, to the outside to Roy Shingirian. Shingirian trying to come over now and intercept, can't do it. Sean Woods, who's into the contest off of one of the last substitutions. And Harvey going down. And a yellow card issued against the Arsenal player there. That might have been Darren Spicer. And we'll take a timeout. No score in this Nationals game for the boys under 12. Here in the second half, so getting up was Jordan Harvey. He is okay after he was knocked down on that last play. To the outside now. Derek Watson running onto it, and it's stolen away by Jordan Harvey. And Harvey hitting the ground as he kicked that one out of play, and undoubtedly still feeling the pain of that last bodied scenario. Athletic move where he hit the turf. Ball up in the air now. The Rock trying to run onto it, but on the outside now, Derek Watson. Watson will be able to throw it in. Watson looking for LaRock. Watson centers it. Watson gets it to Clayton, and he shoots it, and it was off the back of the head of Marco Rodriguez. And so they'll get the corner kick. Marco Rodriguez was rather definitely is happy now that he was there, because that would have been a tough shot to save for Eric Reed. Watson over to the Rock, and a save by Eric Reed right in front of Travis Clayton's attempt to try to knock it by him with his head. And back they come to the outside now, pushing it up is Figueroa. Figueroa still on the ball. Figueroa being bodied there, and he falls down, and he steals it away, moving up the field. Marlon Brown. But the Cobras still on a counterattack. 24 minutes gone. Down to about 6 minutes left to play in a game. And the pressure will begin to ensue as both of the teams realize that it's starting to get towards overtime. And then when they're in overtime, the pressure is applied again because you don't have much time to deal with. Nobody wants to go into a penalty kick situation, but if they have to do it in this Nationals play, they'll do it. As there's a free kick being set up here for the Cobras. Greg Porter, along with my cameraman, Dan Roper. Happy to be here in Huntington Beach. We've already seen good soccer play today with the finals earlier today. And here the second game. And these two teams, one from Alta Loma and Mission Viejo, Internationals, playing a good brand of soccer again in the age of under 12, as the first game was under 12 that we did see earlier today. Mission Viejo now, a throw in. The Cobras trying to get a counterattack going. But there is that man Dunn as he's able to get it out of danger. That ball played up in the midfield area. Harvey up in the air, and he's able to get enough of that ball to get it to the outside of Sean Woods. But coming back is his teammate, but Woods is able to get it back. And just when Woods is trying to go somewhere with it, Travis Clayton comes in and steals it away. To the outside is Alex Martinez, and he sends it down in the corner, looking for some space for his teammate there. And he just couldn't find his teammate to be open in Chris Klotz. However, Klotz, because it's knocked out by the Arsenal, will have the opportunity here to throw it in. Klotz getting it to his teammate Johnny Fincher, but Fincher can't control, and from the touchline, the Arsenal will get it going again. Down now to about 3 minutes left to go in the game, not counting the injury time. Play trying to be controlled to the far side of the Cobras. Don't want it to go past midfield and keep this opportunity alive. And it's going to be a free kick now, and so the defenders of the red and white have to move back. Goaltender Armando Amata, seeing all the players come in front of him, wanting to keep his eye ever mindful of that soccer ball where it's at. And now trying to be controlled there, but the backline players are able to get it up. Field. Harvey now passing it to the outside of Marco Rodriguez, who gets a lot of air underneath the ball. Ball up in the air again. Running onto it that time, trying to run onto it, was Mario Rodriguez, and they got it around him. Controlling Herrera. Time running out now, and the Arsenal with the throw-in. The winner going to Wyoming. The Cobras trying to control in their own defensive third. Good passing there, but that last attempt was kicked out of play, and so now the Arsenal with a throw-in. Again, the Arsenal from the far side now trying to work their way ever closer to the 18-yard box. Dunn winning that soccer ball and sending it to the outside to his teammate, Derek Watson. Watson against two defenders. Sends it back to Dunn. He tried to work it back to Watson, but it was intercepted. However, the back line coming up to help out as Dunn got caught upfield. Dunn, one of the key players in the back line, but whenever you have good coverage by the defenders to come over and help out, and that's what you get. If you get caught upfield, you got another guy to take that place of where you were at and make the play. Moments running down here in the Nationals game. The boys under 12. Here's one sent over to the 18-yard box. And a shot up in the air and just missed the top of the crossbar. A bid that time by Michael Gardner, and Gardner almost was able to get it up in that top corner. Sailed a little bit too high. Not much of a breeze here, but enough to carry it over. And a double whistle, and that signifies the end of the game. And don't go away. They will go into a 10-minute overtime segment, and that's tough soccer. We'll be right back.
What if we were flying and then...
That's it. Action set to get underway in the first 10-minute overtime segment. The Alta Loma Arsenal and the Mission Viejo Cobras. in this boys under 12 national play. Going from right to left is the Arsenal as they change sides. And left to right is the Cobras on your video screen. Set toward the 18-yard box. Running onto it, Travis Clayton. Daniel LaRock couldn't quite get to it as Clayton tries to come over and provide some space, but the defense again is able to send it upfield. But there is Dunn, Cameron Dunn. And you see Cameron Dunn, you almost want to think of the same last name, the surname of fine running back for the Florida State Seminoles in Warwick Dunn. Cameron Dunn's got a similar type of speed out there, but doing it in a different game, the one with the geometric design ball out there. In a game of soccer, football, they call it in some countries, the world's most popular sport, as that one is sent towards the goaltender Amata, and Amata making the save. Every opportunity in the overtime is a big one. Coming back now with the fast break opportunity is LaRock. LaRock trying to find a way to find somebody free towards that 18-yard box or create some freedom himself. And he can't quite do it as it's stolen away by Harvey. Now out on the top. Remember, a goal is not sudden death, so it will not end the game. They will play both of the 10-minute overtime periods regardless of whether one team scores or not. And so it kind of allows you to play it just like in regulation, but it is just condensed down to 10 minutes vice a 30-minute scenario. And albeit because of having to hustle up and down that field after you've done it for 60 minutes, and you go another 10 for one half of it and another 10, so now you're talking about 80 minutes. And then if it's still tied, then you don't have to run up and down the field. You get an opportunity for the penalty kick scenario, which in the game of soccer is not very popular. Although the last World Cup was won by penalty kicks, and Brazil winning the World Cup in 1994 on just that type of play. And now Dunn now onto it, and it is knocked out of play there by Alex Martinez. And Dunn might be throwing it in. The Arsenal got to this championship matchup in the boys under 12 by beating the San Fernando Valley Fury 1-0. And then they beat the San Dieguito Surf 1-0. And when they beat the Surf, it was, or rather the Fury, it was an 80-minute scenario in order to get by them in order to play the Surf. In a situation where they could then be able to play in this championship game. On the other side of the coin, the Rebels winning 2-1, or losing 2-1 to the Cobras, and the Cobras then beat the Irvine Soccer Club, the ISC, by that same score of 2-1. And the Cobras now today trying to see if they can get something going, but the Arsenal have been trying to do just the same, and when both teams have got things going, they have found an equal amount of defensive pressure. But LaRock now to the far side, and he pushes off, and it'll be a free kick, as again with the position is Jordan Harvey. Harvey showing that he has the good defensive skills to mark the player. Travis Clayton now. And Mission Viejo trying to keep it going. Here's the pass sent, and up in the air on doing a fine job that time was Michael Gardner to intercept that through pass. Harvey trying to run back, but he gets his teammate to run back there and help out. And that was Mario Rodriguez. Throw in now, and the Arsenal trying to work one over towards the box. Intercepted. And now the Arsenal player is still on the ball, and a backline player is able to get it up in the air. As putting a lot of pressure was Darren Spicer, and Spicer was one man away from a very good shot. And right now, down on the field is Marco Rodriguez, as he was hit hard on Darren Spicer's attempt, and we'll take a breather. We'll be back with the last 5 minutes of the first overtime segment. Action back underway, and Marco Rodriguez, who was injured on that play, and he was carried off. And we hope he'll be okay. One not able, you never like to see that in any type of athlete, and especially the youth of being only 12 years of age. You definitely hate to see him not be able to walk off on the field. The Cobras to the outside on their counterattack, trying to get something going, and maybe a little bit of testimony to their fallen player to try to get something happening here. Robert Schur sending it down. Dunn up in the air. Schur sending it to the outside now. The Figueroa. And a miss, and down the middle. Here's a shot, and missed it to the near side. A shot by Alex Martinez. He had just a little bit of area there, and he tried to get it between goaltender Amado and that near post. And here is Armando Amada with the goal kick. Down within a minute and a half left to play in the first overtime segment as Dunn chases it down. And as it goes out, it's going to be a corner kick, and racing over there to take the duties is David Hudgens. Hudgens with the CK. Always the big offensive play. As the Cobras now with an opportunity. And send it over to Harvey. He can't control. Kept up in the air. The air control now is Harvey, and it is kicked out of there by Marlon Brown. And play to that far side now. Controlling Alex Martinez and hustling. Trying to do it whatever he can and work something towards the middle. Find something free now. That ball up in the air now. Figueroa coming out. He's having a hard time, but he finds the ball right there in the top part of the 18-yard box. As one of the Arsenal players was right there to try to put the pressure on. We're down to injury time here in the first overtime segment. And coming over there is Dunn, and Dunn goes down hard as he tried to intercept that soccer ball. And Dunn is still down on that far side, so there'll be some more injury time. And we'll be right back. There's no score here in the overtime of the Boys Under 12 Nationals between Alta Loma and Mission Viejo. And they do the drop kick as play ensues. Dunn to the far side. However, it was stolen away from him and sent over into the corner to Roy Shingirian. And Shingirian on one bounce getting a shot, but the save was made by Amada. Armando giving it a long ride up to midfield, but Shingirian now trying to control. And it goes out of play. Alta Loma will have the throw-in from the far touchline into injury time here in the first overtime scenario. Close to 70 minutes have been played, and neither team has been able to put one in the net. Shingirian trying to feed one and head man up to his teammate, but it was stolen away now as an interior pass. Again, the defenders. However, still playing the ball, the Cobras trying to muscle it maybe around a couple of players. However, Alta Loma now being able to come out with it after their defensive third was being severely put to the task, and this one to the outside now. Derek Watson. Watson trying to keep it going, and winning it there was the Rodriguez, Mario Rodriguez of the Rodriguez tandem. Marco and Mario played well for this Mission Viejo Cobra Ball Club, coached by Rick Martinez. And there's the double whistle, and that's the end of the first overtime session. Only 10 minutes left to decide who's going to win this under-12 Nationals on the way of playing a normal scenario. And if not, then it will be a penalty kick scenario. And there is no intermission right here. They just switch sides and continue playing for the last 10 minutes of it. So going from right to left on your video screen is Mission Viejo, the Cobras, and left to right is the Alta Loma Arsenal. A nice ball played up to midfield as Dunn comes up. Ball still in midfield. Dunn and Clayton. Clayton a turn, but it's intercepted. Into midfield. To outside now with Robert Schur. And Schur has to go back and play it, and it goes out of play now, so the Arsenal with an opportunity. Not too far from the corner kick. Little arc and a throw by Brown. Over to Clayton. He sends it up in the air, and it is over the net. Remember, it is not a sudden diff scenario, so they're going to play the full 10 minutes. The goal kick for the Cobras. .71 minutes played already, and neither team has scored. But here's the Alta Loma in an 18-yard box. Running onto it is LaRock, but he can't control it momentarily. And again, the back line, some of the players are able to get that ball to get it on out, and running it out now is Sean Woods. As Dunn runs back there to help out. You can just see the determination on both of these two teams, and definitely at this point, the ability to still come out with what you need to make things happen is dwindling. That energy is being zapped because you've played a lot of soccer. One of the fathers mentioned it about Snickers, and you can best believe that Snickers, if they had anybody watching this one, would be happy to see the kind of play in the youth of the United States, and being proud of being a part of this play here at Nationals, as coming over to make a slide tackle and a steal from the outside, and it goes out of play now as Harvey was over there. Robert Schur on that slide tackle. Upending a player that time, and so now they play on as the Cobras trying to control, taken away by Travis Clayton. Clayton trying to get to his teammate, and coming up to make the save is Eric Reed. Just couldn't get his foot on it. That time was Derek Watson. They're now in the middle of the field, Dunn, and they kick it around Dunn. However, coming back to get it out of play is Kyle Matthews. Alex Martinez, and he just wants to take a little bit of a breather. As these youngsters have been hustling up and down the field, trying to find a way to be able to crack the defense of the other, and it has just been too tough up to this point. But at this point in the game, it becomes a way of who's going to outlast the other. The Cobras now to the near side. Rodriguez trying to pass it, and he does. Trying to run onto his Figueroa. Alta Loma has to play the D now. Up in the air. They're red and white trying to win it. After a while, as the weather gets a little bit cooler here, as you've seen, it's been an overcast day. And the longer you play, even the touch of kicking and getting somebody else's foot with your soccer shoe becomes a not too venerable scenario for you. It starts to feel rather tender. You've been playing out there, you've been running a lot. Your foot's been involved for some 75 minutes of soccer. Now, of course, the Arsenal have been here before against the Fury, but they were able to win it 1-0. And they did it in a shootout scenario. And it passes to the outside, working hard, the Cobras. But staying with them is Marlon Brown. Sean Woods, or rather Anthony Herrera, coming out with it to help out Daniel Rock in his own half of the field. Harvey now. Trying to play it there was Darren Spicer. Both teams having their best players out there right now. Travis Clayton. And a reason for having your best players out there is because when it comes down to the situation, and coming way out of the net is Reed. Reed came way out of the net to try to help out, and that's always a dangerous play. But Harvey was able to mark LaRock well enough so that LaRock could not make a play around the man who was way off his line in Eric Reed. LaRock now with the corner kick. Reed making the save. Eric Reed, who's played a fine game, and the goaltenders now coming into play here, and they definitely will if in the next 4 minutes it is still tied. LaRock with another opportunity on a corner kick. Off of Clayton. Clayton on a scissors. Clayton still in deep, and it's knocked out of play as Clayton hustling. Travis Clayton still with the effort here in the 76th minute of this game. LaRock again with another opportunity for Alta Loma. No score in a soccer match here in overtime, and it's intercepted by Shingirian. Kicked way upfield. Alta Loma with a throw-in. Daniel LaRock. Marlon Brown. The Cobras trying to get a counterattack going. And to that far side, David Hudgens stolen away. Dunn up in the air now. And to the near side now. And Spicer to the near side. As it is kicked out of play. Derek Watson trying to find LaRock, but jumping up and getting to it before LaRock can get to it is Eric Reed. Reed sends it upfield. Dunn intercepts. LaRock trying to run onto it. Can't do it as the teammates of the Cobras able to work it good on that back line. Marlon Brown to throw in. Long distance LaRock, and it's blocked there by the defender right in front of Eric Reed. The Cobras now trying to get their counterattack going. The stamina of both these players being zapped as time goes on. Shingiria now with a burst of steam as much as he can muster. And to the outside, Kyle Matthews. And Matthews running it down and knocking it out of play. Moments left towards that double whistle, which both clubs don't want to hear in a way, because then it comes down to your goaltenders. Daniel LaRock now will get an opportunity as Marlon Brown will try to find him. And there's a double whistle, and that means they're going to go to the penalty kicks scenario, a shootout. The players on the field are going to determine it one-on-one with the goaltender, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Alta Loma and Mission Viejo in the shootout of the Nationals under 12. LaRock is going to be the first player, and he will attempt this one against Eric Reed. LaRock, a player that has played fine in this game. And here is his shot. He saved by Eric Reed as LaRock tried to go upstairs and didn't get it up high enough. 5 players aside, and now the Cobras with an opportunity. Gonna give it a shot for the Cobras is Alex Martinez, the left winger. Goaltender cannot move. Martinez tries the low side and scores, and the Cobras have the 1 goal as Amata could not get to that one. Nice selection there by Martinez to just go down on the low side. And now giving it a try will be Watson, and he scores. Derek Watson. Nice play by Derek Watson. So Derek Watson gets one in for the Alta Loma Arsenal. And now, after 2 players for Alta Loma, they have the 1 score. And now here's the second try for the Mission Viejo Cobras. They have 1 goal already. Sean Woods. Sean Woods up in the air, but Omada is able to make the save, and it's 1-1 after 2 tries. Sean Woods tried to go to the right side of the net, but Omada was able to get up in the air and block it down. Well, it's an even score now. After 2, and here comes the 3rd man up for Alta Loma. And this is number 18, Darren Spicer. Spicer, and a nice block by Eric Reed, and Reed is able to get off the ground and knock it down. Spicer trying to go for that same area. The last man who shot it, and Sean Woods. And Reed able to make the save. And now here's Chris Klotz for Mission Viejo, the Cobras. Klotz tucks it in. He goes to the left side, and he's able to get it by Amata. So Woods trying for the right side, and Klotz elected the left side. And so now the 4th player will come up. And Mission Viejo leads by the 1 goal. 2-1. Number 11, Marlon Brown against Eric Reed for Alta Loma. Brown, and he tried the same angle, and Eric Reed is up in the air, and he gets the hands out there showing his good hands and good lateral ability. 2-1 Mission Viejo leads. That's after 4 players now. And now here comes the Cobra, number 9, David Hudgens. And they could basically secure this one with Hudgens. Hudgens finds it in the corner, and it's 3-1. As Hudgens able to get it by Amata. Hudgens, a very hard shot. He tried in the upper corner, and there's really no chance for Armando Amata. And that does it, as Mission Viejo, the Cobras, they win the Nationals under 12, and they hug Eric Reed, the whole team, as a great bunch of play we have seen for 80 minutes by both teams, but the Cobras showing that they can get it done on both ends of the soccer field and even in the shootout scenario, as Eric Reed being very tough in the net. And they'll go to Wyoming, and a happy bunch of youngsters as they'll play in the regionals, and they deserve it because they showed that they can be tough when the chips are at the toughest. And Eric Reed has the rest of his teammates follow him with the Cobra flag. We hope that you have enjoyed this soccer match between 2 super teams. And unfortunately, in a game of soccer and in any game, somebody has to lose. And you get a better look now as they hug Coach Rick Martinez, Bert Shingirian, and Jorge Rodriguez doing a fine job with these boys under 12. That's going to do it from Huntington Beach and the sing-song, the international for the Mission Viejo Cobras. I'm Greg Porter. Take care and God bless. Until next time. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hang on, let me mark this so we can tell what's going on. Go ahead.
Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.